In 1978, two researchers studied 150 women, successful women with degrees, careers, real accomplishments. Not one of them could own her success. Every single one was waiting to be found out. That was the first study on imposter syndrome. There was not a single man in it. 40 years later, a Hewlett-Packard internal study showed women apply for a job only when they meet 100% of the requirements. Men apply at 60, 40%. That's the gap between what you are capable of and what you allow yourself to go after. 40% of positions, projects, pitches, conversations that you want in because one box out of 10 wasn't checked. The question isn't whether you're good enough. The question is who told you that you were not and when. My name is Natallia Miranchuk. I've been working with women for 20 years as a newborn photographer, as a doula, as a coach, as a founder of two non-for-profits in maternal care. Right now, I'm building Soula, an AI companion for women. Along the way, I heard no 685 times, and every time there was a voice inside saying, "See, you're not good enough." Today, I want to tell you where that voice comes from. If you've been wanting to understand why the voice "I'm not good enough" is so loud, subscribe right now, because we are going to talk about honestly without softening anything. And hit like. It helps me know this conversation matters to you. Before I go further, there is an important distinction people always mix up. Imposter syndrome isn't "I could have done better." Perfectionism says, "I belong here, but something is wrong with me." Imposter syndrome says, "I ended up somewhere I shouldn't be, and I'm about to be found out." They travel together, but they're different things. The term was coined in 1978. Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes, Georgia State University. They studied 150 high-achieving women, all with real accomplishments, degrees, careers. Every one of them was unable to own her success. They called it luck, a mistake, a fluke. The word syndrome was born from a study with no man in it at all. What we know call a personal weakness was originally described as a systemic female experience. Socially prescribed perfectionism is the feeling that others demand perfection from you grew by 32% among female students between 1989 and 2016. The sleepless rise of any type of perfectionism among young women even sharper. Think about that concretely. When was the last time you didn't apply for something because you didn't tick the one box out of 10, or turned out a project because someone else would do it better? That's not modesty, that's a system, and the system started running long before you grew up. At the age of 5, girls and boys answered the same way for the question, who is the smartest in the room? The smartest people are people like me. At the age of 6, after 1 year at school, something shifted in the girls. The smartest people in the room are boys, they started to say. One classroom, one teacher, 1 year, and something inside has already moved. The difference between boys and girls. When a boy is doing something good, they usually say, "Wow, how brilliantly you have managed to do that. Wow, it's amazing how hard you have worked to do that." And when a girl has done something good, how they praise her? They say, "You are so smart, you're amazing, you are so wonderful." Do you hear that difference? Because they praise a boy for what he has achieved or done really well, and a girl for how she appears and how she is. And that brings us to the point that when we as girls see the difficulty and we get stuck over there, we cannot move on and try once again because this brings us to the feeling that I'm not smart enough, I'm not good for that, that's not for me. And with men and the boys it works differently. If they didn't manage to do something, they try it once again and again and again, because from the early age at school they have been praised for that. They call it the bright girl effect. The higher a girl's IQ is, the faster she quits a hard task. For boys, it's quite opposite. Smart girls were taught everything should come easily. The first thing that doesn't isn't a challenge, is a verdict. She's not smart. On average, boys are called on in the class 3 times more often than girls. A boy shouts out an answer and she gets attention and he's like, okay, move on. A girl shouts out and she gets that, please be silent, behave well, be a good girl. Do you feel the difference? And then we grow up. We go to pitch. We go to interviews, we write posts, and at the same time, voice is still there. Don't stand out. Make sure the first, are you sure you're really ready? It's better you wait for a second. Maybe you're gonna be the second one. Do you know that voice? I write a newsletter for women about things that don't get said out loud, about doubt, decisions, what it means to build something that matters, not an advice, a conversation. Link is in the description. I spent 20 years with women in their most vulnerable moments. As a newborn photographer, I had 3,500 newborn babies. As a doula, I was there when it was terrifying for women. And here's what I know for certain: self-doubt isn't only a story in your head, it's a physiology. When the thought, I'm about to be found out, kicks you in your sympathetic nervous system, activates fight or flight or freeze. The perfection cortex, the part responsible for clear, measurable decision, gets overloaded. Cortisol rises, and that background hum of anxiety stays for hours. The same thought spins on a loop. What if I should have, if they can see, maybe your body can't tell the difference between a real threat and the thought. They think I am not competent. That's not weakness, that's a normal nervous system responding to danger. The danger just happens to be imaginary. The imposter cycle runs like this: thought, I don't belong, emotion of anxiety, and the shame, tension, and exhaustion in the body behavior, avoidance or overload, and back to the same thought. Without intervention, it repeats. Just cycle after cycle, again and again. I remember one pitch that was early on when we were just starting to raise money for Soula. I walked into the room, investors experienced, sharp and very experienced watchers. And right there, 30 seconds before I was supposed to start, I caught a thought: why are you here? They all have tech companies. You have a product for women. They are going to listen politely and forget about you. Caught the thought. That was my 684th pitch. I had already heard no 683 times, and the voice was still there. I didn't beat that voice. I just kept talking while it was talking inside of my head. That 685th speech ended with a yes. And then a few more after that. Today, Soula has raised more than 2.5 million, and we have supported over 5 million women across all the projects we've done before. I'm not telling you this to impress you. I'm telling you because the voice was there on every single pitch. In every, I'm good enough to be building this, and I think you have that voice too. The question isn't how to get rid of that. The question is how to act while it is talking. This isn't only inside you. The environment keeps doing its work well into adulthood. Madera, 2008 and 9, a study of recommendation letters with equal achievements about women. Consciousness, hardworking, responsible, team player. About men, brilliant, outstanding, leader, talented. Women through effort. Men through potential. The person reading the letter sees a good executor in the woman, a future leader in the man, and makes the hiring decision accordingly. Investors unconsciously ask different questions depending on the founder gender. To men, how much will you grow? How will you capture the market? To women, how will you avoid losses? How will you protect yourself? Each additional prevention question reduces the round size by 7 times on average compared to growth questions. Imposter syndrome isn't a personal weakness. It's what the environment taught us, and then we start believing it's the true about who we are. The voice, "you're not good enough," is loudest at night, when there is no one around. That's exactly why I built Soula. It's not a tracker and it's not a bot with advice. It's a companion. She knows your story, asks how are you today, and actually listens. Soula integrates with Apple Health tracking not just data but your emotional state. Download the link in the description. The goal isn't to get rid of the doubts. The goal is to act despite them. Doubts can be there. You make the decisions. In a moment of acute anxiety, notice the thought and name it. This is self-doubt. You're not your thoughts. Distance created, come back to your body, 3 deep breathe, stretch, wash your face with cold water, do one little thing anyway. Open the door, open the window, write the first sentence, make the call. It won't remove the root cause, but it will ground you right now and right here. Environment. Getting out of imposter syndrome in isolation is nearly impossible. You need at least one person who sees your real competence and can give you specific, honest feedback. Not someone who says, "Oh, you're doing great." Someone who says, "Here is exactly what you are good at, and here is why." Talk to them about your doubts. Gradually widen that circle. This one person can be your hand that you hold by. And what I truly recommend to you is ask him or her, whatever who he is, to keep that for at least 1, 2, 3 months. Just say, "I'm getting ready to get a new position. I'm going to be in a self-doubt for sure. Every time I'm going to call you or I'm going to talk to you and you're going to feel that I'm moving back, make that stop for me. Just tell me that you truly believe in me. And every time I'm going to come back, say it again and again and again." Someone who truly believes in you is your hand that you're holding and the one that's bringing you back to your self-consciousness and to the position that you believe in yourself. Replacing beliefs through facts. An affirmation like, "I am competent," layer over the thought, "I don't belong," doesn't work. The brain learns from facts. Create a note on your phone, name it after your belief, "I am competent at X," and every day add evidence to that. Add compliments, feedbacks, results, specific moments when you pulled it off. Gradually your brain builds a new story, not because you convinced it with words, but because you accumulated that proof to yourself. Self-compassion is a scientific field. One question: what would I say to a close friend in the same situation? And say that to yourself. You deserve the same compassion you give to everyone else. Compare honestly. If you are going to compare yourself to a woman in similar circumstances. Same country, same amount of children, same starting point. There is no use comparing yourself with someone with a fundamentally different start. Better find a role model with a similar story. See how she moved through similar doubts. Ask yourself, what would she do next? The female rhythm. We don't operate in the same mode every day. Hormones and your cycle change your concentration, your stamina, emotional baseline. We can spend a week in complete low energy and then in 1 week do more than someone else does in a month. That's not inconsistency. That's our rhythm. It can be trusted. What we go through is not a flaw. It's an environment that spent years teaching us that. But the environment is changing and we are the ones changing it. I had 685 no's only for the last 4 years, and the voice was there every time. I didn't bat it. I just stopped waiting for it to go quiet. You can do it too. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Conversation like this one will keep coming. I'm on Instagram, that's where the personal and the life happens. I'm on LinkedIn, that's where I talk about what I'm building. Both links are in the description. See you there.